Reading.
When you're all done, bend over kissing posterior down.
Oscar winner Morgan Freeman. Student suddenly stops fight choreography to flirt with the vice principal.
Hot for October. You telling me?
Joe Clark started working at Eastside High in September. Michael Beach isn't my boyfriend in this scene. Head of security here, and gone in the next shot.
In 2 weeks, we have a practice exam. But it's not just about those test scores.
Joe says it's not just about the test scores, but later harangues Miss Levias constantly for them. Who is this guy talking to?
Did you tell your father I threw you out of school?
No, sir. My father doesn't live with us anymore, sir.
Oh, is that what you're doing now? Go around feeling sorry for yourself, boy?
No, he was addressing your question.
You hung out with that skeezer?
Skeezer. This trick was old back in the 50s. Movie has to demonstrate this student's poor reading skills by having her select an exact antonym when asked for a synonym. Selecting B or even A would have made more sense. In addition, Eastside High is apparently too poor to afford bubble sheets.
We have two groups we'd like to thank today, the Black and Hispanic Alumni Group.
Eastside High has a specific Black and Hispanic alumni group, even though it's a high school with a high Black and Hispanic population. I found no evidence of this special group, sending until further notice.
The fact of the matter is, I haven't heard a word about those test scores. Why don't you get yourself down to Trenton? Well, they're probably writing on some desk. Bring them back here where they can do some good.
Trenton is over an hour away from Patterson, and traffic in New Jersey, the most congested state in the Union, is unpredictable. Joe tells his vice principal to spend at least a half a day traveling to and from Trenton, which not only takes her away from the school, but also costs transportation money that they can't afford. Kid Ray stands up to this ass whipping until Joe gets there, when he promptly passes out on cue.
Oh man, I've been waiting for this.
Come on.
And now he's back up.
Get this disgrace to erase out of here.
You already threw this disgrace out once.
What's he doing back, Mr. Wright?
Someone must have let him in from the inside.
Probably the same person who let this photographer in.
Kanisha has a gift. She has that spark, and we have to look after her.
This does not look sparky to me.
I had Kanisha when I was 15.
You mean 9. This was not a real newspaper.
I don't think I'm cut out for this, school and all. I just came to say goodbye.
Dropping out on me, huh?
Educator loses one to the streets cliche. These students singing a cappella in the bathroom sound better than the chorus students singing in the chorus room.
Hold it, Mr. O'Malley. What's your excuse?
I had this big stack of forms I was filling out.
Perhaps he got behind on his work that day he had to drive to and from Trenton.
Mr. O'Malley just brought this from Trenton.
And this figure is a cube, and this figure is a cylinder, and this is a sphere.
If their buddies could just push open the exit doors and let them walk on in.
He's got a point, sir.
Rosenberg, this doesn't concern you.
Mayor tells a school board attorney that he should not be concerned about a legal issue.
Fire broke out, my kid got hurt. Oh, Christ, they're gonna get trampled. Bunch of savages down there anyway.
Savages.
Audio increase on the word savages so that Barrett can hear it.
What happened this morning is an outrage.
Let's take a moment to discuss Mrs. Barrett. We never find out who her child is. We can assume that it's this guy since she does say that she has a son, but it's never confirmed, nor does Barrett provide any description other than,
My boy's no criminal.
her motive is to get Joe Clark fired, but there's no guarantee that a new principal will reinstate her child's student status. He could still wind up
Back out on the street.
If so, then Mrs. Barrett will have to start all over again and get that new principal fired too.
When am I supposed to do this?
Having a private discussion in the restroom instead of in your office.
I'm gonna let him hear the school song.
Other side will stand.
These students who can't sing and likely don't take chorus have their voice parts memorized.
Everything's always for the black kids.
That's right, everything.
Yeah, the gospel chorus is for the blacks.
She was singing in the gospel choir.
You are not inferior. Your grades may be, your school may have been, but you can turn that around and make liars out of those bastards in exactly 1 hour.
They have time for a full pep rally style assembly an hour before the competency tests start. Those things take all f***ing day.
Lean on me when you're not strong.
If only this had been the school song, no one would have gotten detention.
I got pregnant. I never meant for this to happen.
You girls never do. So many of you bringing babies into this world just to prove you can accomplish something.
I doubt that was on Kanisha's mind when the baby was created. All those news starved reporters that we saw throughout this whole movie are now nowhere to be seen.
Those are the facts. Now, I appreciate your personal loyalty to Mr. Clark.
The recorder with the proof that Mrs. Barrett had planned on using to get Joe dismissed is nowhere to be seen, nor does she ever bring up the subject.
It is my privilege and my honor to report to you that the students of Eastside High have passed the minimum basic skills test. All this class is not going anywhere.
When Joe got arrested at the school, he told the kids it was because he had chained the door shut.
And you break the law, you pay the price.
Now the police decide to leave him alone because the students passed the basic skills test. Eastside High's school colors are not gray and pink.
Why don't you get yourself down the track?
This is my new dean of security, Mr. William Wright.
Helen, I came for you.
But now they can call me Batman. I'll be back, Clark.
I'll be back.
Easy reader, that's my name.
And when they put you in that cell, when those bars slam home, that's when you know it's for real.